I'm sitting back, I'm chilling for this one. You're not seeing me feet in the camera. I'm not chilling back for this one. I got the heater on. It's warming up. It's raining outside. It's cold outside. This pen is running out. I just finished a notebook for poems. Obviously not the greatest of all time, but don't even need to say it. I just finished a book of poems. Another one. Today I got out of bed and before I doom scrolled for the life of his, I decided go and read poetry. So I picked up Bukowski, right? Bukowski's right there. I picked that up and I read one or two. And I realised I have other books of poetry. Actually, I don't think I have enough. I don't think I have a lot. Maybe like not enough. Maybe 7. Not enough, you know. And like it's not enough for reference points. I need to engage more with poetry. So I recognised that above the book of poems that I have my notebooks, my used notebooks. So I pulled them out and I was like, let's look at them. I'll tell you what I'll do, because I think a lot of people like aesthetics. I'll go get them. Bloody hell. Shit's gonna hit the fan, yeah. These aren't all gonna be poetry. Right. Okay, journal. Poetry. Whatever that is. What is this? This was the first, by the way. Right now I write in a journal that looks like... Now I gotta say, this is a testament. This speech is a testament to how things sort of like get more legitimized, you know? I'm not saying like I gained aesthetics and therefore it's better, right? Like if I become Marie Antoinette all of a sudden, it doesn't mean I'm a better person or a better writer, you know? Or the flowery la-di-da fashion and the, you know, the attitude, like just that I'd cared enough to put effort in, and that's what you'll gain when you keep doing something in life. Consistency out of love, not consistency out of discipline. And this was my first journal. It's my first journal, my first sort of... It was an old maths textbook. If people wanted more to something, they could. None of it matters. I don't know what I was writing. Day 1, the 18th of the 8th, 2023. Didn't even know. And this is where we're at now. Beautiful art book, beautiful clip. It says journal on the side. We care now, you know? We care now, and that's the point. Let me put this back. A whole bunch of shit just fell. There's this, all drafts. It's not even done. It's memories though. But yeah, I went on memory lane, you know? This has to be one of my favourite books of all time. It means so much. It just means so much. This is an old book of just things, I guess. Just like, wow. And honestly, I'm sitting here and I don't know if I can believe whether or not I've only wrote in these, because it like I'm like, whoa, now I look at it, there's not a lot, right? But there's these two, there's this, and there's these two. And I know that I have, I think, 139 pages of poetry in a Word doc right now. So, you know, I come from a place of not wanting to do poetry because I thought I never was good at poetry, and now all of a sudden I have like such a vast amount, you know. And by the way, there's somebody who only started poetry maybe September. last year. As in, like, I only really wanted to do, I only realised I like poetry around about September, summerish, you know. Before that, I was a bit scared of poetry, I can't lie to you. You know, and now I get a chance to go back and I love it. I absolutely love it. Alright, I'm going out. Just life in it. Just life. Just life. I wrote in my journal, and it's kind of like the point I wanted to try and make. A birch in winter. What a poem. One second. We're having a whole conversation midway through. Like, I'm gonna keep going back and forth between this, but yeah, I wanted to talk about, I've got whole stanzas and haikus, and hey, look at that. It's actual stanzas. Like, I don't really ever do stanzas, and I'm just seeing, oh wow, I did this, I did that. I even flicked through a poem there that was like a poem about, obviously I personified the moon, and it was just a haiku of there. On this cold night, this is not haiku actually. On this cold night, you hide behind the thin clouds. It is. This moment alone, alone. I don't even know if alone's two syllables. Um. Oh wow! I remember writing this poem. This is the whole point of the video. Whole point is this is actively this feeling that I'm trying to share, is that this was consistency, not out of. I can't do the David Goggins stuff. I can't do that whole you're a fucking bum ass bitch. Be better. You know, I feel as though he, like, Goggins esque stuff, that discipline esque stuff, comes from a place of fear. Fear of being that man you once were, and rejection of that. Whereas I don't fear that person, I pity that person. Maybe that's wrong, because I know they probably pity you too. You know, they've all got their own thing. I'm not a psychoanalyst, but I can only say that I've done this not out of fear, but I've done this out of love. I'm always thinking towards the future, whereas I feel like that discipline type of stuff comes out of rejection of the past. And like, I look at all these and I get a chance to go back, and I'm like, yep, yep. What was that noise? Yeah, it's the absolute love that, and some pages aren't even filled. But I like it. I like the fact that it's like, here's a poem that I did. You know, it deserves to have its own zinc. Ooh, zinc white. I like that description. I got really obsessed once with some cadmium yellow. Everyone's worried about Owen. I forget what song it is, but he uses the word cadmium yellow in the song, and I'm like, oh, that description of using the specificity of what, you know, not white, not snowy white or anything like that, but like zinc white, cadmium yellow, you know, where I'm going. Like sienna, you got Payne's grey, not just grey, Payne. Oh, this one, a birch in winter. I just said that before. I'm not gonna read it out. I will read it out. I've got this fear of putting my stuff online, and the fact that it's like, well, I actually don't care. I don't care. This is a birch in winter. I wrote this on January 4th, and it's the 4th of the one poem a day. And I'll say this, I don't write side tangent prior to reading the poem out because it doesn't actually mean anything towards the poem itself. I don't write drafts unless it's a poem that I feel really deeply connected to that needs to be improved, and I feel like this poem doesn't need to be improved because I think I was sitting after a service in Durham, and there's a birch which they've put a nice little seat around, you know, but it's bulbous. It contorts and twists itself in beautiful ways. It looks ancient. It looks ancient. Whitman's wood type of ancient tree. And I was just sitting there and I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood. And that's the beauty of it. This is why I love writing. This is why all of these are all of these, and the word doc is the word doc. Because every time I go to sleep back these poems, I see that I just had a burst of inspiration, a burst of want to write this thing. Sometimes when it's poems out of like negative feelings, it's that too. I get to see what mental state I was in, where I've improved from, who I can love, who I can sort of pity, who needs, you know, I can see that kid and I can say, I'm glad you've confided in me with these words because I love you and I care for you, and I'm glad that I've heard these words. And I feel like I'm a part of my own life through doing so. A birch in winter. It's always the same thing where I can't read my own handwriting. That doesn't fucking say skin. It does. You look bitten by the wind, hard and white as your skin. And your joints lock and freeze. No. Again. That does not say again. Against? I can't read my own writing. You look bitten by the wind, hard and white as your skin. Something. Joints. You lock and freeze. In your heart is a spider, lying at its web, huddled in your warmth. Thorns rest at your feet. You bud at your fingertips and gloom at the sun. As do I. You frown at the shadows. We are waiting for the rise to come out of ourselves again. I will see you soon when all is right. I will see a birch in the summer. Shit reading, by the way, but I love it. I love it. I was sitting down. I remember really vividly sitting down and writing, "I will see a birch in the summer," and looking at a birch in the winter, and there was this really big like tornness on my heart where I was like, "That's so shit," because you think you're being smart by like subverting, but you're not, because you should in fact describe a birch in the winter. But then I thought about the way that the voice of the poem turned out to be, and put itself into the tree and put its personifications out there. And I was like, but the voice of the poem wants to say this, you know, separate from me. And I was like, you know what, just shut up, right? Like, I wrote it, and I simply just closed the book and I said, this is the poem. This is the poem. And it's the same with these and these and these and these. Some of them are fucking hilarious. The other night I was with a friend, Ben, at his house. It got quite late. So I was just like, hey man, I'm going to read a couple of poems out if you don't mind. Like, I feel like it'll be fun. And it turned out to be really fucking funny. Really funny. Um, what? Wait. I'm sorry. I'm looking at all these poems and it's like I'm remembering each one. Also, the ink on the paper. This is quite hard paper. You know, it's quite coarse. So writing on it is really hard. Some stuff is really short. Some stuff is really long. Oh, it's life. It's poetry, isn't it? But yeah, you know, we sat and we just really like. It's good. It was fun, and I think everybody, in my opinion, everybody should have these notebooks lying around, and it just shows history of your life. It's a chronology. It's so much. It means so much. It's important. It's all important, and I think we should all keep in mind how important our actions are, our consistency is. Consistency out of love, not out of discipline, and the consistency out of this love is this. So there's goofy funniness that I seem to just be able to look back on and have a whimsy and say, I don't care how bad it is. I like the fact that I can't even read my own handwriting. And it's the 28th of January. I'm on a rock in the middle of the lake. It is sinking. There's one more rock, a step away, I must reach it. I stretch my leg and hope for the best, to land upright and graceful. My foot stumps, I feel it press, and another to safety. I take a breath and look around. The running water is shining. Just one moment, then I notice again, it's slowly sinking. So I take my last look around and onto the next mountain. What inspiration led me to say those words and to say that is that and to say move on? Not even like I was a person at a time who decided that that should be a thing, and it became immortalized in paper. And I believe in every person, and I believe in every person's heart, and I believe in every person's love, and I believe in every person's expression, whether it be their pain, whether it be their happiness, whether it be their suffering, or whether it be their victories. I believe in them all, and I believe that when you have poetry like this, I get to witness a really vivid picture of my life, and by virtue of that, I also get to witness a really vivid picture of other people's lives if I'm to read their poetry, which is why I think I advocate this. I advocate this because it's gorgeous. It harms no one. And the only thing it's ever done is to serve to make me feel well, happy, peaceful, pleasurable in all the right ways, whatever it may be. It's quite simple. I'm moving on to my next notebook now. I don't know what pages will be full. I don't know what I'm going to fill with these pages. I don't know what pen I'm going to use. I'm going to pick a pen and see what's going to be nice, and then I'm going to go on a whole journey with it. It might be another one of these. It might be a really short one. It might be another, clobber knocker. I don't really like writing them, but it might be that. Whatever it is, it's another month or two of my life. However much I write, whatever I feel inspired to do, it's going to encapsulate another time in my life, a part of my life that may be important, it may be meaningless. Nothing's meaningless, but it's going to be something, and that's special. That's really special. And I'd say love comes over discipline every single time. Love is far more important than discipline. and I don't think I'll ever do something from discipline. I've been writing a poem a day now since the start of January. I did October, I did November. I didn't do December because I got the holiday, and for some fucking reason I just did so much nothing. I did so much nothing that I possibly could, you know. Um, that in December I just relaxed, you know. The semester was finished and I really relaxed. But then we moved on, and Christmas break was over, and I thought, okay, so it's been about, what's this, 2 months in total? 2 months in total, with a couple of days. It's been nothing but good. And I haven't done it out of consistency. I haven't done it, and I don't see myself in the future doing it out of this, out of that. I just think of the now, and I think of the current day at hand. Today I know I need to write a poem, because today I know that life is better with a poem in it. Contribute a verse. Yeah. Um, yeah. Watch Dead Poet Society. That was one of my earlier video references. You know, that was like probably the first video I said. Yeah, contribute that verse. You know, poetry's a beautiful thing. It's whatever. You know, you you'll have some, like, I had a poem, right. I brought it into class once. So I didn't know what to do because they said it was a poetry night, and I was like, I'm not doing poetry for my exam. It's not an exam, for my assignment. I'm not doing poetry. But I have a poem I just wrote recently. I brought it in, and it was probably one of my favourite poems. Really short lines, stanzas really long, so it's Bukowski-esque. And to me, it was like a description of like a child being trafficked. But it was like not obviously sexual, it was men sort of using childlike wonder and whimsy and draining that and taking that away from us, you know, the people of the world who are creative, all of us are, by the way. Everyone in the world, you know, taking those unique children and people who love the game and love it all, and draining it, you know, through like a blood sacrifice. And it was a gothic house on the edge of a cliff with the ocean. And in my head, it was one of the best I'd ever wrote. And my lecturer says, you make these lines longer. But I loved how each line felt like a footstep. But it's like the breadth of it, the shortness of it. And I think at that moment, to me, it was zero external validation. I wrote a poem. I was proud of it. That's it. That's it. And I don't know, maybe there's a whole bunch of other words I can say. I don't want to say any. I feel I'm done now. I feel like I got other things to do with the day. I think I can leave it on a couple of sentences, which is, live your life out of love. Live your life because you want to live it, not because you have to. And let everything you do be out of that wonder and that whimsy and that care. I can't say it for everyone, I'm obviously speaking for myself. Do what you need to. Do what you need to do to fight. Do what you need to do to smile. Do what you need to do to cry and laugh. But do what you need to do. And in my Word doc, if this doesn't turn off, if this turns off, bye. But if it doesn't, hold on, no, it seems to be working fine. It's working fine. Jim Valvano's quote. To me, there are three things everyone should do every day. Number one is laugh. Number two is think. Spend some time and thought. Number three, you should have your emotions move you to tears. If you laugh, think, and cry, that's a heck of a day. Love that. And I think that really encapsulates all those one-off poems, because it's like there's laughter in there, there's crying in there, there's thinking in there, you know? Fuck me. Write some shit, just fucking does no harm whatsoever.